Hi everyone, happy holidays. It's Maud here again, and welcome to your Yoga for the Holidays series. I am very excited to have put this series together because I really did want to offer something for everybody. I am very well aware that not all of us have high energy or have a happy energy towards the holidays. We all have our stories, we all have our own experiences and circumstances. But what I wanted to put together was something that would make us sort of remember what it was like when we were kids, to remember when we were just so hyper focused about waking up and opening gifts, or in my case in the Philippines, we opened our gifts after going to church in Christmas midnight mass, and it was just the only thing that mattered was going home, exchanging gifts with the family, eating, and just savoring the moment like nothing else mattered. And so that's why I put these classes together, is because I want us to remember what it was like to really just feel undisrupted. So just enjoy the moment, enjoy your practice. Don't be too serious about it. We're going to have a lighthearted series, but I do want it to be focused on the heart space, just that feeling of the holiday spirit, being kinder, maybe reaching out, connecting to people that you haven't connected to for the past year, and just making yourself almost bigger and extended version of yourself to people, friends and family, even strangers who may need your grace and your generosity. So I just wanted to put that together. So, regardless of where you are in the world, geography wise, you may be in a hot place. I was born in the Philippines, and so Christmas to us there was very much spent even in the beach or at home, in shorts and tank tops. Or if you're in a cold place like I am, feel free to bundle up or, get in a comfortable outfit. Get warm, have a nice cup of tea. I have here my hot cider, so feel free to grab those. And so I came up with four classes in this series. So we do have a grounding yin class, a centered deep stretch class for a centering deep stretch class, an energy flowing vinyasa class for if we just feel sort of stuck and cold and stagnant, so we can move energy through, and then a heart space focus hatha class. And so regardless of which energy you're feeling over the holidays, I got something for everybody, so take your pick. As far as props are concerned, as you can see, I got my Christmas blanket, I got my little Santa hat. The Christmas theme is definitely optional. That's not mandatory. But the attitude of the holidays, that's what I want you guys to like really embrace. And so without further ado, please enjoy my Yoga for Holidays series for you. Namaste and happy holidays. Hi, everyone. Happy holidays and welcome to your heart space focused Hatha class. This is the Hatha part of my holiday series. And so in this class, I'm going to be doing 5 Hatha poses with you, which means we're just going to get in the pose, not much movement in between. Hatha means sun and moon, but in the modern application of yoga, that just means getting in poses without necessarily flowing in it. And so this is a great class to take during the holidays, especially for those of us, like I had mentioned in my intro, just being bigger than ourselves, being more generous, more gracious, just being more giving and selfless, which is the magic of the holiday spirit. It just brings that out to people. I know that it brings that out in me. And so this is a great practice for you to just feel that attitude and just to shift something inside you to go outward. People that you know, friends, family, and even strangers. And so I have my trusty blocks. Prop wise, we won't really be needing anything mandatory right now. Like in my other classes, I have my holiday candles, and it is kitchen spice. It is just a perfect holiday candle and a nice cup of hot something. So I have my hot cider right here. I'm going to take a sip before we get started. I am ready. Okay. I'm going to place these in front of me so nothing happens to them. And so feel free to sit on your prop. You can sit cross-legged or hero pose like I am, which means you're probably going to clip the block between your ankles and sit your sit bones on top of the block. And so as we sit here, try to feel length in the spine and already space in the heart. And let's roll our shoulders up towards the ears and then back and down. And do one more time of that. And then coming to center, retaining everything I had just mentioned, but then sending your left hand on your left heart, on your heart, and your right hand on your belly. There is only one side of the heart, and that's kind of centered to the left. So let's take some deep breaths, shall we? Inhale through nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Inhale in. Exhale. Relax the shoulders. One more time. Inhale in. And then exhale, relax. Draw your attention inward so much so you can really feel your heart beat towards your hands. Left hand on the heart space or center of emotion. Notice what's occupying that space right now. Notice during the holidays what's been occupying that space, or what would you want to occupy in that space. The right hand on the belly is just a reminder of all the abundance that we have, especially in the holidays. It makes it really sort of obvious and transparent how a lot of people really need connection. They have much less than what we have. And so let that cultivate a sense of selflessness in your practice right here. Sending warm thoughts and also action towards those folks who need us. Shift your right hand towards your heart on top of your left hand. And maybe just starting to sway the body left and right before we get in our Hatha poses. With a relaxed face, relaxed shoulders. Let's stop at the center. And let's get into eagle arms. So release the hands. You can lift them up towards the sky for a bit of momentum here. And then right arm goes underneath the left arm or the left elbow. Drag your elbows down. And then send the elbows away from the chest. So allow the upper back to round, but keep your spine long. This is a very protective pose. Garudasana arms. Recovering our heart space, and that's completely fine. We do need to protect ourselves. So just feel that sort of analogous expression of what that may be, what that may look like in the body physically. Inhale. And then exhale. And then slowly releasing the arms. And then send your arms behind you. Let the left hand grab the right elbow first. And then the right hand grabs the left elbow. We're going to get into our second pose. It's a very big heart opening pose, but maybe for a lot of you, this may not be a big thing. So if you want to clasp your fingers instead, do that. I kind of like this elbow situation here because it arches my spine a little bit, and so I'm really forced to send my ribs back. And so by sending my ribs back, it also nudges my arms kind of backward, which allows for a bigger chest opener. Inhale. And then exhale. Nice job. Slowly release. Again, lifting your arms up for a little bit of momentum. Or maybe we just want to be dramatic for a little bit. Left arm underneath the right. By the way, I did not mention this before, but feel free to grab shoulder to shoulder if the palms coming together is just not in the cards today. Send your elbows down before you send them away from the chest. And then you feel this rounding in the upper back, which may make you round your spine, but try to resist that. Keep your spine long, but your shoulder blades are traveling away from the center, away from the spine. Again, this is a very symbolic posture of heart protection, of sheltering ourselves from anything that we may deem harmful or just not pleasant. And I know even during the holidays, we get pulled in many different directions, going into events that we may not necessarily be wanting to go, like out of obligation. I know there's been some office parties like that in my past. But before we know it, we take an inhale and then we go the opposite direction. Instead of always just being protective of ourselves, now we're going to open up and allow stuff to come in, events and people. This time, let the right hand reach out to the left elbow first before the left elbow grabs the right. Feel the difference in that energy. And again, the arms are there so that you might arch your spine, but then send your ribs in, lengthen your spine down. Inhale here. Chest is open. Exhale. By the way, I did not mention this before, but if this is not accessible to you, feel free to grab your shirt or put a belt between your hands, or like I said, just clasp your fingers and send them away from your lower back. Inhale here, and then exhale. Nice job. And then slowly release. Remove the block out of the way. Our third pose here is going to be a very closely linked figure 4 shape. So I'm going to show this on the side. Get your feet in front of you, hands behind you. And so allowing a lot of space in the hamstrings and the calves, send your left ankle on top of the right. And just listen to the body and how it feels for now. Sending that left knee as far away from the chest as possible. Again, this is a very allowing pose. Unlike, our eagle pose earlier, which was very protective and very sheltering. This one is kind of, like hanging out, but at the same time, you are feeling pretty open, even though the legs are in front of you and sort of covering that space. There is still an area to access. If this is plenty for you, stay right here. Otherwise, you can shift your hips a little closer towards the heels. And if some of you would like to walk your hands out to make this pose a little bit more accessible, do so. As long as there are no issues with the shoulders and the elbows and the wrists, you are good. Now, send your heart closer towards your ankles. This feels really, really, really good. Inhale. Ooh, exhale. Slowly shift back. Ooh. Left foot is down. Now get that space established between the calf and the thigh before you do figure 4 on the other side, this time right ankle on the left thigh. Assess, study the body, study the reaction, study the breath. You can stay right here and linger, and this is plenty enough. Open the chest, shoulder blades are coming together towards that spine. For an even deeper sensation, you can slide your heel in, or what's more accessible to me is for me to slide my hips over. The tendency is to round, so keep your chest open, walk your hands back, and do whatever you can to keep that chest open. Just nice breaths right here. Try not to over breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Ooh, shift the hips back. Slowly release. Nice. Shake your arms and wrists. We're going to come into our number 4 pose, which is Sphinx. So get your bellies down, get your hips down. Again, this is a very allowing, exposing posture. So wiggle the hips left and right if that feels good to your lower back. And elbows underneath the shoulders. Spreading the palms in front of you, tops of the feet down. And so igniting your glutes, and then kind of push away from the mat and just look forward in the Sphinx. Inhale. exhale. Just visualizing somebody in front of you right now who may be in need, who may be needing some loving care in the holidays, or maybe somebody who's feeling alone in the holidays or who's literally alone in the holidays. Put that person in your mind's eye or just visually place them in front of you right now and just beam your chest towards this person. Inhale. And then exhale. Slowly release. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders. We're gonna get to our last hatha pose, heart-centered hatha pose, and it is half a puppy. So send your elbows down, hips are above the knees. This time let your left hand reach towards your right elbow and just rest your forehead down. This is such a nice stretch because a lot of people do puppy pose and they just dump in their armpits. You can practically see, the bones come out and protrude in their armpit area. So this kind of controls that a little bit, but still does not compromise the heart opening experience that I want you to have. Taking a few moments. Inhale. As you exhale, peel the forehead away from your arm. And then this time, right hand reaches out towards the left elbow. Plant your forehead on top of your right forearm. Breathing in and out. And not necessarily overtaxing the breath or being over dramatic with the breath. A slow breath is really good. It keeps you grounded. It forces you to slow down. But just know that you can also just breathe normally and naturally here. Again, keep beaming your heart, this time down towards the earth. Inhale in. And exhale. Slowly peel the forehead away. And then we are actually going to end class in a child's pose. But if you want to do traditional Shavasana, feel free to just lay on your back down and enjoy. Otherwise, push your hips towards your heels. This is our final resting pose. So relax your elbows, relax everything. You can flip your palms up just to let your fingers go. If you find that this feels really good and you want to spend more time here, please hit the pause button until it's time for you to get out of it. Otherwise, let's take our last 3 breaths. After your last exhale, walk your hands in underneath your shoulders and use that to push yourself back. Closing in with the knees, hands to heart center. Inhale here. Exhale, take a bow towards yourselves. Getting back into that heart space. And so placing your left hand on your heart and your right hand above your left hand. There is a better version of ourselves out there, and so we want to cultivate that, especially during the holidays when a lot of people really do need our attention. They need our love, they need our donations, they need stuff that we have a lot of that we can just be a little bit more generous about. Inhale here, please. Putting your hands back to heart center. Take a deeper bow into ourselves, the shrine, the temple, the altar that you are. And I thank you so much for sharing your practice here. I surely hope you enjoy the rest of my other classes in the series. It is really curated for all different types of energies and attitudes towards the holidays. And so, from my heart to yours, namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you so much. Have a good holidays, guys. Take care and goodbye for now.